drive back the night and rekindle the light of civilization.
There's an old saying, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. Unfortunately, TV executives don't always get that memo. Today's victim is Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda. It was a show with an excellent premise, a fascinating universe, a talented cast, and enough long-term story potential to become one of the truly great sci-fi shows of the early 2000s. Instead, it is mostly remembered for what went on behind the scenes: creative fights, network decisions, a total shift in direction, and yes, Kevin Sorbo sits right in the middle of that conversation. Now, I'm not here to blame one single person for everything. Making TV is far too complicated for that. But when you look at what actually happened, it is hard not to think that a lot of totally unnecessary nonsense unfolded. Let's get into it. The basic premise is brilliant. Captain Dylan Hunt and his warship get trapped right near the edge of a black hole. 300 years later, he is rescued, but the civilization he dedicated his life to protecting has completely collapsed. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that everything you ever believed in vanished centuries ago. That is a fantastic starting point. The goal wasn't just defeating a random villain of the week. It was about rebuilding civilization itself, political alliances, competing ideas, alien races with their own secret motives, and big questions about whether the old Commonwealth even deserved to come back. This wasn't supposed to be another mindless action show. It was designed to be smart, serialized, and deeply character-driven sci-fi, exactly the kind of storytelling that fans loved in Deep Space Nine. Everything looked incredibly promising. For roughly the first season and a half, head writer Robert Hewitt Wolfe was carefully building a massive story. Characters grew naturally, plots connected together, nothing felt rushed. The crew regularly questioned each other's decisions. Even Dylan Hunt wasn't always right, and that is usually where great drama comes from. Conflict, different viewpoints, moral grey areas. Then came the turning point. Kevin Sorbo wasn't just the star of the show, he was also an executive producer. Over the years, plenty of interviews have painted a pretty clear picture. Sorbo preferred a simpler, more episodic, more action-focused show, and studio executives completely agreed with him. They worried that heavily serialized stories would confuse casual viewers, so midway through season 2, Robert Hewitt Wolfe left the series, and almost overnight, the whole tone changed. Now, episodic television isn't automatically bad. Some brilliant shows are completely episodic. The problem is that wasn't the show viewers had already invested in. The big political stories started taking a back seat. Long-term plots became less important. The focus shifted more and more toward Dylan Hunt solving the problem every single week. Fans even started calling it the Kevin Sorbo Show. Fair or unfair, that is exactly how people saw it. Supporting characters who used to feel deep and layered slowly became less important. Tia Anasazi was the ultimate example. Originally, he wasn't just a hero or a villain, he was unpredictable. Sometimes an ally, sometimes an opponent. His own beliefs constantly clashed with Dylan's, and that made him fascinating. But later, much of that mystery completely vanished. Keith Hamilton Cobb eventually walked away from the show entirely, and once your supporting cast starts becoming less interesting, your whole universe starts shrinking, because great sci-fi isn't built around just one person, it is built around an entire world. Here's the part that always makes me laugh. The creative changes were supposed to make the show easier to watch, simplify everything, make it simple for casual viewers, focus entirely on the action, give the lead actor more heroic moments. Job done, except the exact opposite happened. Many longtime fans felt the show completely lost its identity. The ambitious world building just fell away. The deeper philosophical questions faded into the background. What once felt like a rich universe slowly became just another basic action show. And by the 5th season, the budget cuts were painfully obvious. That massive 3-galaxy setting suddenly felt tiny, not because that was always the grand creative plan, but because it was just way cheaper to shoot. It's amazing how often creative shortcuts end up costing you more anyway. Whenever people talk about Andromeda today, they rarely ever start by talking about the stories. They talk about what went on behind the camera, and that is never a good sign. Do I think Kevin Sorbo single-handedly destroyed the show? No, that gives one person far too much credit. Making TV just doesn't work like that. Did network pressure and creative fights ruin the show? Did pushing one guy to the front kill the magic? I think so. It's a classic reminder that great TV comes from trusting the writers. You don't fix a hit show by making it simple. When you try to please everyone, you end up losing the fans you already had. Did you enjoy Andromeda all the way through, or did you notice the massive shift after those first couple of seasons? Do you think Kevin Sorbo gets way too much blame or not enough? Let me know in the comments below. If you love breaking down TV and film to see exactly where they started going wrong, don't forget to hit like, subscribe and turn on notifications, because there's plenty more nonsense waiting to unfold.